Well, the end of the year is coming up on us, and there's hope that it could be a brighter year next year. And maybe it's finally time, you think, to ask for that raise or try to get a job, because it's been a pretty tough situation so far. Well, we have someone to help you. Alyssa Gasca is a business consultant here. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, you've advised Fortune 500 companies in the area, such as Intel, and local mom and pop businesses. First of all, tell us a little bit about the local business environment. What are we looking at for 2010?
Well, things are definitely still tough, and I think most of all, there's just a lot of unknown. So people are wanting to hang on to good employees that they have, and they're also hoping for better times ahead, but you know, being aware that things may or may not change.
So for folks out there who say, all right, you know, I've weathered it as long as I can, but now I really need to ask for that raise, and I really need to go try to find that job. What are your best pieces of advice?
Yeah, what I'm telling people right now who are either asking for raises or who are in the job process, number one is do your homework. Know what's going on out in the market, know what market rates are right now before you go in and ask or look for that job, so you know what you're up against. And also know what either is important to your boss or to the person that is going to be hiring, so that you're able to speak to and tailor your request to what matters to them. Use facts. So if you can quantify what you did, by what number you grew sales or by what percentage you grew the business. And the third is be open to alternatives. So right now what I'm seeing in companies is they may not be able to give you a salary increase, but they might be able to put some money aside at the end of the next quarter for a bonus, or maybe offer some extra paid time off or something like that. So if you're able to be flexible and kind of meet your employer in the middle, you're probably going to be in a better situation.
And what if you've been out of the job market for a while and you don't have facts that you can say, oh, I've grown my company by 25 or my department by 25%, or, you know, I did something so well. What if you're just trying to get back in?
That's a great question. I think what people need to do right now, whether they have been employed or not, is focus in on what your strengths are. We all have something unique and a strength that we bring to the workplace. So if you've done your homework and you know what it is that the company that you're looking at or interviewing needs, be able to say, the reason I am unique or can help you in this situation or in what you're trying to do is, and tie it directly back to one of your strengths.
Okay. Now let's flip the coin a little bit and let's look at it from the employer's perspective as they go into the next year. And we're talking about still uncertain times ahead. We don't know if the economy is going to come back and do well. We don't know if it's going to continue to drop. What would you say from an employer's perspective they need to be considering, whether you're a home-based business or a larger company?
Yeah, and that's a great question. A lot of people are going into their 2010 planning, nonprofits, for-profits, and two things I'm advising them to do. One is get focused on your core business. What is it that you do the best, and resource that sufficiently that you can do it well. So do a few things really good, and generally those are what your core business items are. The second thing is make multiple plans for this next year. So even on a personal level, you know, you may anticipate as a company that you're going to have a budget flat to last year, the same as last year, and that's great. Plan accordingly. But what if you had to go 10 or 20% less? What would that look like? Or maybe you'd get an unexpected windfall, which would be great. Where would you invest in the next year if you had additional income?
So envision different scenarios.
Absolutely.
For your life.
Yeah, we call it scenario planning. So,
okay. Well, it sounds like good advice for life as well.
Yes.
Alyssa Gasca, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, coming up next on Keep It Local.